Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Vinamine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashyata Veshitaya Devo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. The Bhakti Vinod Thakur, let us discuss certain things, let us understand. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is the father of Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, who was Prabhupada's guru. Now, when you are coming to Mayapur, you will know more about him. You will see his house. And his disciple, Siksha disciple, was God Kishodas Babaji Maharaj. So when his son wanted Diksha, he told him to take Diksha from God Kishodas Babaji Maharaj. So even though he is son of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he becomes grand guru of his son. So in the parampara is like that. So let us understand about great Acharya Bhakti Vinod Thakur and appreciate. And on his honor today, we will not take breakfast. That's probably fast. This is Bhakti Vinod Thakur, a great Acharya. Let us understand. This is what we see as Pranam Mantra. You can also sing this Pranam Mantra and offer obeisance at your place. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. Okay. Generally at 12 o'clock noon, we offer a flower to him, pay obeisance, and then we take breakfast. And this is the Pranam Mantra which I, just like Prabhupada the Pranam Mantra, all Acharyas have Pranam Mantra. We respect them for their contribution. I offer my obeisance to you, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinoda, the form of eternity knowledge, the incarnation of Gaura's potency, and the best of the followers of Rupa Goswami. So we know Shada Goswamis, the 6 great acharyas, who took forward the mission of Lord Chaitanya after Lord Chaitanya's departure. They're very dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, developed whole Vrindavan, and did so many wonderful services. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is sometimes called the 7th Goswami. His contribution is so huge. And this is a time 1838 to 1940. He was there more than 100 years before. is a prominent Prasuta Acharya in our succession of spiritual masters and disciples coming from Lord Krishna. Each member of Guru Parampara is actually a very great Acharya. But at least the last 4 Acharyas, we do fast on their disappearance and appearance. Otherwise, every day there is a fast. In a succession spiritual master disciple coming from Lord Krishna, he was a pioneering spiritual master. Prabhupada single-handedly, he pioneered the whole Krishna conscious movement. The Krishna conscious movement started after Lord Chaitanya was spreading vigorously all over, exploring as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had wanted. But after some 200-300 years, or after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disappearance, things started changing. And there was a need of somebody to reinvigorate this whole movement, and that is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Just like in a war, when there is a need, reinforcements come, isn't it? So similarly here, the reinforcements are sent in the parampara. Great Acharya is sent to push forward the movement in a big way. He was a householder. Now this is surprising. We think that teaching and all spiritual knowledge should be done by only a sannyasi. He was a householder. True, he took a sannyas at the last part of his life, but he was a householder. Okay, a magistrate, on top of the magistrate. Just imagine a magistrate of today. You think big buildings are there or not? They don't have the powers like the British time. The magistrate was a very powerful person. And they were just under the governor, reported governor, the post only not given to Indians. What under British rule, a preacher, writer, and a poet. Now, Prabhupada's Guru Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he writes about Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So we're getting words from an Acharya and glorifying another Acharya. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, his son, talks about his father, a great Acharya. Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur is an extremely dear associate of Shri Chaitanya Chandra. So the first thing, whenever you look at a great Acharya devotee, don't think him independent from the Lord. He's very dear to the Lord. Therefore, you feel affection then immediately. Okay? When you look at Prabhupada also, very dear to Krishna. So all the services he offered is so dear to Krishna. Then you feel, okay. In due course of time, when those who preach the desires of Chaitanya Deva left this world to enter the Lord's presence pastime, Lords, whenever the Lord appears, many Nitya Siddhas appear with it, generally. Nitya Siddhas can also later come to further the Lord's mission. But the Lord appears definitely surrounded by many Nitya Siddhas. Means he brings his team from the spiritual world directly. When Krishna came, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, so many team, his team comes from the spiritual world. Okay? So he's a very dear estate of Shri Chaitanya Chandra. So those who preach it to the Lord, but they left the word Lord's from the pastime, sky over Bengal slowly darkened. So you say that, say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared, and slowly, say 100-200 years, things started deteriorating. Anything, it's like that. You make a building, after some the building deteriorates. So something had to be done. And cloud of sensual enjoyment and false renunciation was destroying Shuddha Bhakti. The sky was covered and the world was bereft of the rays of light coming from the Sargitana propagated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One by one, the sun, moon, unlimited star sky faded from the view, leaving only the occasional flash of lightning disturbed the unending darkness of ignorance. Almost 350 years after disappearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur came to illuminate the gaudiya sky. So great Acharya was needed to again push Lord Chaitanya's mission. 350 years, things, not that there were no devotees, but the number had quite thinned out. Few number were remaining. Now they were needed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire is Prithvi Chayoto Achi Grama Sarata Prachar Huimora Nama. There was somebody needed to push forward and bring Krishna consciousness to every house and street. So a big reinforcement came in the name of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. All the great virtues are present in the body of a Vaishnava. This is going on from Bhakti Prabhupada. The good qualities of Krishna gradually develop in his devotees. All these transcendent qualities, characters of pure Vaishnavas, and they cannot be fully explained, but I shall try to point out some of the most important. Devotees are always merciful. They are not bellicose. And they are not. They don't need too much. They are truthful, equal to all, faultless, generous, mild, clean. They are without material possessions. They work for the welfare of all. They are peaceful, surrender to Krishna, desireless. They are meek, resolute, completely control the six character force of lust, anger, greed, and so forth. They eat only as much required and are prudent, respectful, and free from false prestige. They are grave, sympathetic, friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. Various qualities, the many times listed as 27 qualities of a Vaishnava, all are present in Bhakti Vinod Thakur. All these devotee qualities are perfectly displayed as Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur throughout the life of pure devotion. The ocean of compassion, Sri Gaurahari, displayed his merciful nature of conditioned souls in 9 different ways. The same kind of distribution of mercy is seen in the life and work of Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur actually, very rarely, sometimes Acharya reveal their eternal position. And we have 2 places, Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his various songs to the Lord, reveal his eternal position. Transcendental identity revealed to the members of spiritual family, the best of the followers of Rupa Manjari, to the leader of the Lalita Sakhi's introduction. Okay. So he's assisting Rupa Manjari. Lalita Sakhi is the foremost of Radharani's 8 girlfriends. In various places in our own writing, Bhakti Vinod Thakur indicates divine identity. Yugala Sevaya Shirasa Mandale Niyuktakara Amaya Lalita Shakira Ayogya Kinkari Vinod Dhariche Paya. Bhakti Vinod Thakur holds a fit and asks you to engage with the unworthy servant of Lalita Sakhi in the service of divine couple while they are performing their Rasa Leela. So sometimes in the morning time you say, are we sing now? Samsara Dhamalala. Okay, na? Nikunja yono ratikeli sendhyai yaya libi. So these are all great acharyas of that stature. In the song Siddha Lalasa in his Gita Mala also, one more place, Bhakti Vinod Thakur gives his eternal spiritual identity as Kamala Manjari, even gives the name, the servant of Sri Rupa Manjari. His Kunja is in the bower of Lalita, Brajananda Sukada Kunja, where he sets the standard of worship of divine couple. Varane Tareda Vasatara Vali, Kamala Manjira Nama, Shari Boro Varsha, Vayasatasa, Swananda Sukada Dhama. My bodily hue is that of lightning. I wear a sari, the color of the clear night, sky sprinkled with stars. I am 12.5-year-old and live in Swananda Sukada Kunja. That is the age in which eternally devotees are manifest in the spiritual world in different ages. You are a mother of Krishna, you will have one age kind of a look, and eternally you look like that. Not that you become older. In the spiritual world, time does not move in that sense. Kala doesn't appear. Okay, so it's a very special personality. And by the work also we know he is not an ordinary personality. After the disappearance of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Saru Damodara, Ramananda Raya, Six Goswami, Srinivas Acharya, Nottara, Shamananda, dark it is in the word of God, Vaishnavism. Lot of hypocrisy in the name of spiritual life is going on. People are not following any rules and regulations and calling themselves advanced devotee. This was causing a lot of confusion. Those unable to understand the transcendental purity of Mahaprabhu's region of love started numerous heretical sects or upper sampradayas. Tota Ram Das Babaji named 13 such heretical sects. They are listed. They are even to this day there. You type on the net, they are there. But actually, Bhakti Vinod Thakur showed they are deviation from the original teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Aula, Baula, Kartabaji, Neriya, Taravesha, Saina, Sahajiya. Sahajiya means to make it cheap without following any rules and regulations. You want quick Krishna Bhakti. Sakhi Bheki, they dress like a Sakhi. I remember once I went to Vrindavan. So I was taking darshan of Radha, our Krishna Balaram temple last time. Suddenly some woman hit me very badly. And I was feeling a bit embarrassed that I should have been more careful. Maybe I came on our way. And then the kirtan was going on, it was going like this. After some time I realized it was a man dressed like a woman dancing in the Leelas of Krishna. That is called Sakhi Bheki. Smarta, Jat, Gosai. They think only by birth we can be spiritually advanced. Atibari, Churiya, Dhari, Gauranga Nagari. They worship the Lord Chaitanya as enjoyer, which is not true. Lord Chaitanya is all in the mood of a devotee. Tato kahe ei teror sanga nahi kari. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, keep avoid that. Educated upper class Bengalis were shocked and disgusted by the practice the heretical sect came to identify. So because of a bad follower, the name of the guru also goes. So people know Lord Chaitanya's mission is just for uneducated and immoral. It got bad name because of the bad follower. People in gender class that have no understanding of faith in Mahaprabhu's true religion, people used to ridicule it. This is for sex mongers or something like that. It became very bad name. The most beneficent God, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, took pity on this bewildered person and now to reclaim them for the path of divine love, he sent his eternal associate, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Suggest on superhuman prowess, Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote more than 100 books in several different languages for the goal of defeating all unorthodox views opposed to the true doctrine of Mahaprabhu's religion. He was a vigorous preacher. In fact, at his time, he was respected philosophers around the world. He wrote so much, more than 100 books. If you write one book is difficult. The result of that, many members that discerning sign others from all over the world came to recognize the unequaled value of the Mahaprabhu's teaching. Shuddha Bhakti Parasharya Holi Bhutu Hot Maha Shri Bhakti Vinod Devastat Priyat Pena Vishwataha. Shri Bhakti Vinod is a transcendental personality who is the root of preaching movement of pure devotion. He is renowned as one who is dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now let us go about his life and go to the sequence. He was born. Father's name is Ananda Chandra Datta and mother's name was Jagan Mohana Devi. He was born in today's Bangladesh, Ulabi Nagar. It is the 352nd year. For me, I think this is it's a Bengal. I don't know, east or west. I'm not exactly. Ulabi Nagar, we can just check. In the home of his maternal grandfather. The 352nd year after the birth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he appeared. Sunday, September 2nd, 1838. Tithi was Shukla, Trayodashi of Bhadra. His parents gave him the name Kedarnath. We worship them on their Tithi, therefore September 2nd, but it comes another day for us. Childhood Bhakti Vinod composed his first poem when he was only 2 years old, on task. Only 6 years learned the details of historical topic Mahabharata Ramayana was finished by 6 years in a hurry. 1858, so he is born in which age? 1838, 20 years later. He went to Nilachala. On the way back to Calcutta, he stopped at Chutigram where his grandfather Krishna Vallabha Datta was living. His grandfather said prophetically that Kedarnath would become a great Vaishnava. Immediately upon making this prediction, his life hairs passed out through the top of his head. Kedarnath remained here for a few more days before continuing through Cuttack, Bhadrak and Midnapur to Calcutta. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar recommendation, Kedarnath took a job teaching at the Cuttack Government School and shortly thereafter the headmaster position at a school in Bhadrak, 1860. During this time, he wrote a book on the various religious institutions of Orissa, Mutts of Orissa, where Sir William Hunter made such use of the reference work in Orissa. Okay, this was the different British people sent to manage the country. Much use such a reference work. He also wrote a work named Sri Chaitanya Gita under the pen name Sachidananda Prema Lankara. He was given the title Bhakti Vinod Thakur by Sri Gaudiya Goswami Sangha on 400th anniversary of Mahaprabhu's appearance. From this time on, Kedarnath Datta, known in the Western side as Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur's life, as we find personified the discussion of Vaishnava, as one who is more gentle than a rose, more terrible than a thunderbolt. Although he was generally very kind and sympathetic, he gave no quarter of dishonesty. He gave no quarter of dishonesty in the name of religion. One event in his life which took place when he was in Odisha is an indication of this. In 1871, there was a person he met was near Jagannath Puri, not in Jagannath Puri, some other small town. In Orissa, he was proclaiming himself to be God. His name is Bishikishena. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur went there with his team of all were plainclothes dress to arrest him or take some action. Because Britishers had this problem how to deal with this person. He was too popular, this Bishikishena, like so many Babas of today. People say, God, it's all bogus. So what to deal with it? Britishers did not know because he had a huge following, but complaints were coming of his misuse. He was telling people, I'm Krishna, send your daughters for my rascality. Like that, he was harassing people. And innocent people are getting confused. What is all this? So the complaint when the British, please do something, he is misleading innocent people. So then Kedarnath Datta, Bhakti Vinod Thakur went there. And he had some mystic power. Nowadays, mostly don't even have some mystic power. And he said, I'm incarnation of Vishnu. In 1887, he visited the most important Shivalinga in Bengal. And so then what happened? When he went to the famous instance, he went to that place. He said, okay, sir, you are such a great personality. Why don't you stay at Jagannath Puri? What are you doing in this small village? Because there you are misleading innocent people. So come, we will deal with you in the city. So he said, no, why have to come to the city? He said, no, there is Jagannatha temple there. No. That is just a place of wood. So when he spoke such atheistic way, treating deity like a piece of wood, he became Bhakti Vinod Thakur became fire. That's why I mentioned him very fire. And he arrested him, put him inside the jail, shaved his all beard and hairs, and that person took poison and committed suicide. In 1887, visited the most prominent Shivalinga in Bengal at Tarakeshvars, where Lord Shiva appeared in a dream and said, we want to go to Vrindavan, there is so much work left to do in Navadip Dham nearby. What have you done there? So he got an instruction for Lord Shiva in his dream, do something. When he visited Tek Darshan of Shivalinga in Bengal. And then at Navadip, he was at his house, because still that house is there. Those who come with Mahaprabhu will see that house. Standing in the roof of the, looking over the Ganges from the house, suddenly at 10 o'clock, he saw illuminated building on the other side of the river. He got a Divya Drishti, a bright light. He called his son, do you see that? His father, I also said. They learned the place was Bela Lagdini of those days. Inquire from the people in that area, what is this place? This is the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. Now, why the confusion? Because what had happened actually, the Bengal, because the river is about to the ocean, it changes course. When it changes course, actually what was presently Lord Chaitanya's place, all had become submerged inside water. And then it came out. But then, people don't remember then where it was the place, so there was a lot of dispute. So, but the local elders, this is the place of Lord Chaitanya, and he also had a very nice drishti, Divya Drishti for that. Then Bhakti Vinod Thakur, what he did was that he took all the historical record, because anyway he was a magistrate, everything was available to him. Any old records he checked and he confirmed, yes, that's the place, a birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. And then after that, went to see the place again. He saw a lot of Tulsi and all over the place. He became more and more interested. And then he wants now final confirmation. People say it's that place, the maps are matching. And now Bhakti Vinod Thakur brought a very, very advanced devotee, his guru, Jagannath Das Babaji. Very advanced. He was quite old, and he was so old, the back breaks, you have to fold it like in a basket they used to carry. He cannot walk. When they went, and he was in so much ecstasy in that place, started dancing in ecstasy. He said, okay, now confirm by a great devotee. That's how he confirmed the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. And then he goes house to house in Calcutta to collect 1 rupee from every house for construction of a temple at Yogapita. So you will see that. He constructed, and then finally his son continued on that. What you see is a beautiful temple at birth site of Lord Chaitanya. So one of the contributions Bhakti Vinod Thakur is to locate the birth site of Lord Chaitanya. A few days before his disappearance, Bhakti Vinod Thakur left Godurma Dvipa to come to Bhakti Bhavan. In 1944, December days of Gaura Shakti, the Gadadhara Pandita Goswami in Chaitanya, Calcutta home, Bhakti Vinod Thakur entered the pastimes of the Lord. 6 years later, the virtual Mata Thakurani, his wife Bhagavati Devi, also went to join him. So this is his brief history, his work. Now more. Books written by him. How many books he wrote? Look at the book starting of 1856. He starts writing speech on the Gautama, speech on the Bhagavatam, Vedanta Adhikarana Mala, Kalyana Kalpataru, Sajjana Toshini, so many magazines, monthly magazines. You can see the list. Vishnu Sahasranama with the commentary by Baladev Vidyabhushan. Can you see more books? Jaiva Dharma is the 41st very big book written by him. Bhagavad Gita I wrote with Madhva's commentary. He wrote many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. One with Madhva's commentary, one with other commentary. Just have a look at it. I can't even read. It is tiring to read all this. Now, this is very bewildering if you want to get inspired, but don't imitate activities of great Acharya. We should not imitate. He used to at 7:30, 8 o'clock take rest. Generally, it gets dark by 6 o'clock, 6:30. 7:30 he used to take rest and get up at 10 o'clock, quite similar to Srila Prabhupada timetable. Rise, light all lamp and start writing. He used to write. 4 o'clock he used to morning take a little nap, rest for half an hour. And 4:30 rise, wash hand and face, chant Hare Krishna mantra till 7 o'clock. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Nam Nam Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Nam Nam. He has a small room we'll see in his house where he used to chant. Then 7 o'clock he used to write letters, and because he was conversing with all great people around the world, writing, corresponding with people. 7:30 he used to read his own reading every day till 8:30. 8:30 used to receive guests, continue to read after that till 9:30. If there is no guest, take some rest again, 15 minutes nap. 9:45 be ready. At 9:45 take morning bath, breakfast of hard little milk, couple of chapatis, some fruits. 9:55 go to court with the magistrate. Can you just believe? And then he goes to the court, and then afternoon come back, then evening come back in the court, and the 7:30 again is started. Can't even imagine this kind of a schedule where a person is sleeping just a couple of hours. He made, interestingly, 3 predictions which has come out to be. Third one is coming to be true. Number 1, he sent the universities around the book of Shloka, Shri Gautama Leela Smarana, which is 48 pages. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and process. Okay? He wanted Lord Chaitanya teaching to be taught all around the world. Therefore, he said, if my Prabhupada and around the world, he saw this book lying in different libraries. So he made 3 predictions. 1, a personality will soon appear, he wrote Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and he will travel all the world to spread the teaching of Lord Chaitanya. That is prediction of Srila Prabhupada. Number 2, very soon the chanting of the Harinama Sankirtan spread all over the world. When will the day come when people from America, England, France, Germany, Russia, Prussia, all the places will take up Kartala, Mridanga and chant Hare Krishna in their own towns? And that's the prediction also happened. Some degree, it has to still growing. The 3rd, when the day will come when fair-skinned foreigners will come to Sri Mayapur Dham and join with the Bengali Vaishnavas to chant Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hari, Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari, Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. This is people are doing now in Mayapur. They're coming around the world and participating in Nama Sankirtana. So, how nice it is. Now, more, I'm now see amount of seriousness of his mission. He's written a letter to his son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. Let us just read this letter, see how much he is dedicated to spread Lord Chaitanya's mission. Letter to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Saraswati, people in this world who are proud of their own aristocratic birth cannot attain real aristocracy. If you are too proud of your birth and all, you will not be actually spiritually successful. Therefore, they attack the pure Vaishnava, saying they have taken birth in a low-class families because of sin. They say like that. So Vaishnava means any birth we can make him to great Vaishnava. So the so-called birth Brahmanas and all, they simply make mockery of this. They disrespect devotees for not coming from Brahmin birth. Even in South India, it is true, so many temples, they don't recognize ISKCON Brahmin Diksha also. They say, you give Diksha without birth. Thus, they all commit offenses. Solution to the problem is establish the order of Deva Varnashma, something that you have been started doing, no to the real service to the Vaishnavas. Because pure devotion concludes are not being preached, all kind of superstition and bad concept are being called devotion by pseudo sampradayas and sahajiyas and natipari. Correct? People have misled the name of pure teaching the Lord Chaitanya Bhagavan. Please always crush this anti-devotional concept by preaching pure devotional conclusion and by setting an example through your personal conduct. Do that. Okay, so that is what he's talking to his, written a letter to his son before departing from this world. You see that. Please make effort so that you can start Parikrama of Sridham Navadip. That's where you're going now. It's Bhakti Vinod Thakur order to do Parikrama of Navadip as soon as possible. It is by the action that everyone in this world will receive Krishna Bhakti. Please try very hard to make sure the service of Shri Mahaprabhu become permanent thing, become brighter and brighter every day. The real service to Shri Mahaprabhu can be done by acquiring printing presses, distributing devotional books and Sankirtana, preaching. Please do not neglect to serve Shri Mahaprabhu to preach for the sake of your own reclusive bhajan. When I am not present anymore, please take care to serve Shri Mahaprabhu Dham, which is so dear to you. So sweet. This is my special instruction to you. Please, people who are like animals can never attain devotion. Therefore, never take their suggestions. Like animals will come. Yeah, you should do like that. You should do like that. Correct. And say like that and just ignore them. But do not let them know this. Okay? But never take their suggestion. But let them not do directly or indirectly. Don't say to anybody, I use this. Because people get hurt. I had a special desire to preach the significance of books as Srimad Bhagavatam, Sandarbha, Vedanta Darshana. But you have to accept that responsibility. He's asking his son, take up the mission. Shri Mahaprabhu will prosper if you establish education institution there, teach people Krishna consciousness. Never make an effort to collect knowledge or money for your own enjoyment. Don't do that. Only to serve the Lord will you collect these things. Never engage in bad association. See, as a father has the privilege to always write, either for money or for the interest. Signed Kedarnath Datta Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Okay? So keep, my dear son, in good association, keep away from bad association. Okay? And for any purpose, either money or self-interest, don't indulge in bad association. Okay? So nice. So you feel very happy. Shelter of such a great Acharya. These are all stalwart Acharyas in our Guru Parampara. Okay? And we are privileged to be part of this great Parampara. Okay, Hare Krishna. So in Navadip, we'll definitely go to the house of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. What is the question? Yeah, we are doing Navadip Parikrama to some extent because only 4 days. We will not be walking all the time. Actually, Navadip Parikrama is done only by walking, 25 kilometers a day. Okay. Please write to me. I'll share the PPT. So we will be walking, not so much, little we have to walk. Anyway, we have to, all of us have to lose weight, so better walk. Best exercise. But not all the time, because we have a short time to finish many important places. Okay. It's something like double the time, 8-9 days every year. There is in March, April, that is called Navadip Mondal Parikrama. I have gone so many times. It is so nice. We should all try to go. Okay. And their point is you're not used to the austerities also. You will be sleeping on the floor. There will be 30,000 people. What do you do? My upper capacity 3,000. So then what do you do? If people sleep on the floor, they're tents. Tents are just like a small kacha, some covering over you. You'll be on the floor. People sleep. They're very happy. 2 o'clock, they rush, take bath, get ready. It's very nice. Certainly very austere. Definitely those who want can go. And with the company of thousands of devotees from around the world. Isn't it great? But wanted to first take you to Mayapur and guided way. Whole life, Mayapur, we keep visiting again and again. Another thing in Mayapur is very famous for Mridanga. and we get clay mridangas which give very good sound. And I will organize from online. We can teach you mridanga also, so that we can have nice kirtan at the place. Okay, anybody has anything to say? Somebody wants to add something? Chalo, we break then. Today, the fast, if you can do, if you have not taken your breakfast, continue fasting till 12 o'clock. If you feel hungry, you can take some fruits. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Chalo, we take leave now.
బాబు గిఫ్ట్ అటు ఇటు అన్ని ఆడ ఇంటిగా మంచిగా చెల్లె అక్కలతోనే ఉండి ఆడుకోకుండా.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhave cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabho namah. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki